We're about to look at a technology that's completely rewriting the rules of AI. And really, it all kicks off with one big question. I mean, what if you could just give an AI a big, lofty goal, and it could just figure out all the steps to get there, all by itself? Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, it's actually becoming our reality. And the project that's right at the center of this whole thing, it's called AutoGPT.
So a lot of us have played around with tools like ChatGPT, right? And they're amazing for answering questions. But AutoGPT, well, it's a whole different ballgame. It's a huge leap forward. Think about it like this. It's the difference between an AI that's just a passive assistant and one that's an active, autonomous agent.
And this really nails the difference. You can think of ChatGPT as this brilliant co-pilot, right? You give it an instruction, it follows it. Simple. But AutoGPT, that's the pilot. It's not just following your instructions, it's creating its own. It doesn't just give you a response, it plans, it acts, and, this is the crazy part, it learns from what it just did to make its next move even better.
Yeah, it's like you're not just hiring a freelance writer anymore. You're hiring a fully autonomous project manager. And that whole idea of a digital employee is so important here, because we're not talking about just getting one little task done. We're talking about managing a whole project from the very beginning to the very end.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, we're going to break it down. We'll look at what AutoGPT actually is, how it thinks, what it means for the workforce, where these agents are headed in the future, and of course, the big one, the opportunities and the risks.
All right, let's dive into the basics. What exactly is this project manager in a machine? So, at its heart, AutoGPT is this experimental, open-source project that's built on top of GPT-4. But what makes it special is its architecture. It's got these abilities that go way beyond a normal language model. I'm talking about accessing the internet for research, using all sorts of software tools, and basically stringing together a whole chain of actions to hit whatever complex goal you've handed it.
And this is the engine that drives its autonomy. It runs in this constant loop. First, it sets a goal. Then it makes a plan. It carries out that plan. And here's the magic part. It actually reviews its own work. It asks itself, did that work? Did it get me closer to my goal? If not, what's next? It literally criticizes itself and course corrects, doing this again and again and again until the job is completely done.
So yeah, if you only remember one thing from this, let it be this. AutoGPT is what happens when an AI makes its own to-do list and then actually starts checking things off. It has initiative.
Okay, but how does this thinking process actually work? What's going on under the hood? What's wild is that your part in all this is actually pretty simple. You just tell it the final destination. For instance, you could tell it, your goal is to build a business plan for a new eco-friendly coffee subscription. And that's it. From just that one sentence, AutoGPT completely takes over. It starts creating its own list of tasks like research the competition, figure out the target audience, calculate the startup costs, the whole shebang. And this is where it gets seriously powerful. See, AutoGPT has memory. It remembers what it's done, what it's learned, it can reason about what to do next, and it uses things called APIs, which are kind of like digital doors to other programs, to actually get things done. It's not just talking, it's doing. And that's why that mini CEO analogy just fits so perfectly. You can really just boil it down to a simple formula. You take the powerhouse reasoning of something like ChatGPT, you add memory so it can actually learn, and then you wrap it all up in an autonomous loop so it can take action. That's the recipe for AutoGPT. So, okay, this all sounds incredible in theory, but what does it actually mean in the real world? Let's take a look at how this AI digital workforce is already being put to work.
I mean, the uses are just exploding. You've got developers using it to write and fix code. Entrepreneurs are handing it the keys to draft entire business strategies. We're talking everything from market research to product design. Marketers are using it to spin up fully automated campaigns. It's just a massive, massive force multiplier for pretty much anyone with an idea.
And look, this isn't just about getting things done faster. It's about offloading entire chunks of brain work. Tasks that used to take a whole team of people can now be handled by one single autonomous agent that works around the clock 24/7. It's a complete paradigm shift in what productivity even means.
But as powerful as one of these agents is on its own, the real future, the really mind-blowing stuff, is what happens when they start working together.
Just picture it, an entire company run by a team of specialized AIs. You'd have one agent that's a research specialist, just scouring the web for trends. It feeds what it finds to a developer agent, which builds a prototype. Then that prototype gets handed off to a design agent to make the UI look great. And all the while, a marketing agent is already planning the big launch. This isn't just automation anymore. This is an autonomous organization.
And believe me, AutoGPT is just the tip of the iceberg. It kicked off this huge wave of innovation. You've got other projects popping up like BabyAGI and AgentGPT, all exploring different paths to AI autonomy. This whole space is moving at just an unbelievable speed.
But of course, with any tech, this game-changing, you have to look at both sides of the coin. The opportunities are absolutely massive, but so are the questions we have to start asking ourselves. On the one hand, you've got the potential to solve some of our biggest problems, to unleash a whole new era of innovation. But on the other hand, what happens when one of these autonomous AIs makes a huge mistake in, say, the financial markets, or managing a power grid? Who's accountable? Who's responsible? These are not easy questions, and the more powerful these things get, the higher the stakes become.
You know, it all really boils down to three things: power, control, responsibility. We are building systems with just immense power. So how do we keep meaningful human control? And how do we figure out who's responsible when something inevitably goes wrong? Finding that balance, that's going to be one of the biggest challenges we face over the next decade, for sure.
So, to wrap all this up, the rise of agents like AutoGPT really does feel like a turning point, a big one. For decades, we've treated AI like a tool, something we point and click. But now we're building an AI that's more like a teammate, a partner that we can actually collaborate with, one that takes initiative and works right alongside us.
And that leaves us with one last really critical question. This tech is coming, there's no stopping it, and it is going to completely reshape the way we work. So the choice we all have to make is, are we going to learn to work with it, or are we going to find ourselves trying to compete against it? If you found this useful, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives. And hey, drop a comment below and let us know what topic you want us to break down next. Thanks for tuning in.